Hello there, I'm Neropax, and welcome to this short guide on research. What is research, how it works, and what are the benefits and of negatives of doing said research. So to start with, what is research? Research is very simply a flat expertise boost that you are given at the start of next season. Basically, the research benefit is an expertise boost that will be added to your current car part expertise. So if we did this project in drag force reduction for our rear wing, next season, our expertise in drag reduction would be 76.41. Sorry, 76.01. Because we gained 0.41 here. The research is one of the two ways that you can increase your expertise, the other one being design projects. But research is an alternative there. Now, the main purpose of research is actually to alleviate technical directives. So as you can see here down on airflow, we have a minus 30% malus here that's going to apply from next season, which means that due to a technical directive, everyone is going to lose 30% of their airflow sensitivity expertise. While railing, this would be a loss of 22.10%, as it shows you here. That is the amount of expertise that we would lose at the start of next season. Now currently we have 73.68, so losing 22.10 would put us at about 51.5%. Now the thing with research, and why it's important, is because research already does this calculation for you. So in the eyes of research, our expertise for this part is not 73.68, it's 51.5. And what this translates to is that your research benefit will become a lot bigger. So if we go into focuses here, and we focus everything into airflow sensitivity, as you can see here, the research benefit that we would get from running it through once would be 9.95%. So we would alleviate next year's reduction by 9.95%, and well, we'd catch up. And the reason for this is very simple. This research project believes our expertise to be 51.5, and it's doing its calculation based on that. Of course, as your research benefit goes up, your gain is gonna also lessen until you reach about, again, the level that you were. But in general, the main purpose of research is to help you alleviate, if not completely eliminate, this reduction here in due to technical directives. If you play your cards right, you can also get boosted in other things. So as you can see, even this build here would give us a small benefit in drag reduction for next year. Wouldn't give us any benefits in downforce because it's so minuscule. But it would also give us a small bonus here to our DRS delta. There is probably a little gain here, but due to the way downforce expertise works, it's kind of hard to see and calculate. So quickly, I'll just go through it. Low speed downforce, medium speed downforce. As you can see, the expertise is 1.51. For these two values, it goes up to 2 as a maximum. So this would translate to about 77%. For high speed, it goes up to 1 as a maximum. That would translate to about 77%. So as you can imagine here, there are some numbers after this. So seeing that we're getting 0.26 here and 0.18 here, this is basically 77%. We're getting some very small numbers that don't really have an effect on this number, because again, it would be a bunch of decimals after this again. So we are still getting a small gain, albeit not as big. But that is basically what research projects are for. They're mainly for alleviating this malus gained from technical directives, and it does a very good job of it. You can very quickly again recover it if you just put your focus up correctly. Again, if we maxed everything here, we would gain better gains in everything. We would gain 0.64 in drag, gain 0.5% here, 0.5% here, probably something close to it here, and again we get a lot more here. But at the same time, we'd lose about 6% in airflow sensitivity. So if you're using research to, again, get rid of the negatives in preparation for next season, then I would advise you to focus purely on that. You'll still get small boosts here that will help your car out, but it's important to keep in mind. Now also, for the purpose of this guide, I hope that you understand what expertise does. So if you do not, I'll quickly go through it. All your car part attributes are calculated based on your expertise, your staff, and a few other things. So as you can see here, currently our car part expertise is 75.6. Our aerodynamics chief and technical chief give 4.3% each, and that gives us a total attributes here for 84.25. Now 75% here of that 84 comes from car part expertise. As you can see here, 80 to 90% of your stats in these stats comes from the expertise alone. So expertise is an important stat to keep high, but keep in mind that past 70, around the 75 mark, it really starts to slow down. As you can see here, even if you focus everything on DRS delta, it would still just be at 1.18%. It wouldn't be a huge gain either for next season, as you can see here. So again, keep that in mind. You want to try and get everything up, well, basically equally here. And when you end up with these massive technical directives that take away 20+% of your expertise. Fixing this before next season can actually be very, very not only beneficial, but it's probably also cheaper to do it this way. But again, if you have projects, if you want to focus a sign to challenge this year, I will not stop you. It's still a very valid strategy. It's a good idea. But in general, research will be a very, very cheap way of handling your expertise reductions from technical directives. And that is basically its role. It's not meant to be the main way of design of upgrading your car. The sign will do a much better job of that. Because it's a sign. Running the sign on intense will give you way more expertise than doing this. But if you run something like this now, before the next season, the sign would use this number. Which means that even with intense, your gain would be 2 point, maybe tops 3%. And then the game would take 30% of that. So you'd lose 0.9% of those 3% before next season. So if you have a massive reduction in something, you shouldn't focus too much on it during said season. You should put the focus down. You should allow your research projects here to gain back that loss, because it's just much more effective. That is basically what research is for. The other way you can use research is basically what I did in my game during season 2 and 3. We focused research mainly because we had a very dominant car, but also because it's a cheap way to improve your car for future seasons, and it allows you to save up money for facilities and any other things that you might need money for. Now keep in mind, research doesn't kick in until next season, and when it kicks in, it doesn't give you every single stat you're seeing on the right here. And the reason for that is simple. When they give you a car for next season, every single part that you receive will have its focuses reset. So every car part you receive will be like this. They will be as if they designed the car with every part, with focuses in the middle, no boosts in any direction. So on your new season, you might seem a little bit disappointed with your research, but if you then put in the time and design projects to make one piece with the focuses as you want at the start of your new season, you'll see a massive improvement in performance for your car. And honestly, you might wonder after those first pieces, why am I not getting this on my third piece? And that is simple, because you focus your pieces and the research benefit all kicked in at once. So again, when you do research, if you do a lot of it, make sure that you do make pieces yourself at the start of the season. You do not need to rush these pieces. You can run them on intense. That should be fine. But you'll see a massive improvement in probably every single piece you've done research on if you focus it properly. So again, I've been ranting a lot here about how research works, but that is generally it. Research is a flat boost to your expertise. If there's any questions about something I have been unclear about, feel free to ask them. I think I've gone through everything. The only other thing that you can use this research screen for is actually if you want to plan to design a part. Let's say that I want to make a fully drag reduction focused rear wing. What you can do, if you're uncertain about how much of a boost it would give you in terms of expertise, say I'm going to run a rear wing like this on intense. How much expertise can I expect to gain? The thing is, this thing will actually tell you. So current expertise is 75.6. You gain 1.71 for running this on basically standard. With intense, you multiply that by about 1.5 times. So if we ran this project on intense for drag reduction only, we wouldn't gain too much. About 2.5 to 3% if we're lucky. Around that there. So as you can imagine, once your expertise gets really, really high, the gains are going to slow down. And they're going to slow down massively. So again, for both designing and researching, I would focus on getting every single asset of every car part to 75%. Start with the underfloor, then go for the wings, but make sure that you focus on the part that gives the most benefit. And for that, again, the thing that will give you the most benefit or bang for your buck is the underfloor. This thing needs to be upgraded first, and it needs to be upgraded well. Same with rear wing, front wing. In my current save, we're doing a bit of experimentation on this, so I'll have more information later. But that's generally how research works. It's, again, just a flat increase to expertise that kicks in at the start of next season, and that you really will only see the benefits from after you've made your first couple of parts and gotten your focuses set correctly. That's when you see a huge increase in stats. Other than that, it's again just to give you an option to alleviate the loss of expertise before next season, and in most parts, well, most cases, completely cancel it out. Again, I hope this guide has helped you. If it has, please like and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. Again, I will be releasing videos on both expertise itself and design projects and how they work in quick order. I do have a little bit more work coming up this coming weekend, so there'll probably be a few few less videos. I'll try and get it out. So this has been a longer than I intended introduction into research, but again, once you understand it, it's fairly straightforward. But if there's any questions, feel free to ask them. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.